Hi, this is a question from a person whose wife has been on dialysis for at least 10 years, and during this time she is undergoing dialysis about 3 times a week, every second or third day. And she is very tired in doing that, and obviously, this is interfering with her life greatly. Her doctors have told her that her kidneys are dead and she would never be able to recover her kidney functions. Her husband tried to tell her that perhaps liver flushes could help her, but she's convinced that this is not going to help her recovering her kidneys. I can only tell you that the idea that the kidneys are dead, that's quite ludicrous, because if her kidneys were dead, she would have decomposing kidneys. They would basically completely disintegrate and would cause sepsis in the body, and the person would obviously die from that very quickly. So to say that the kidneys are completely dead and non-functional, that is just a misconception. That's a myth. That doesn't happen. So it's important to realize that perhaps the kidneys are in the sleeping mode for the time being, but whatever is asleep can also be reawakened. I've seen people who have been on dialysis for a long period of time and recovered their kidneys, not to full capacity, but at least to a point that they didn't need continuous or regular dialysis to basically remove urine components from the kidneys. So I would suggest, if she's open to that, to consider cleaning out the liver. I've discussed the relationship between the liver and the kidneys to a great extent in my book, The Amazing Liver and Gallbladder Flush, and there is a very strong connection between these two organs, because the liver is responsible for taking out metabolic waste products and passing them on to the kidneys for excretion. If the liver is not doing its job properly, the kidneys can easily get overwhelmed with toxins and waste products that are not broken down properly by the liver, and therefore they can injure the kidneys to a point that the kidneys become so congested that they're not able to remove urine to the level that they need to in order to not become congested and overwhelmed themselves. So it's important to find ways to decongest the body, including the intestines, the liver, and to eat a diet that is not contributing to damage to the kidneys, such as a high protein diet, which is important to avoid for anyone who has kidney trouble, because damaged proteins can severely interfere with kidney functions. So it's best to be on a vegan-vegetarian diet, which has shown to ease up the stress on the kidneys and to allow the kidneys to help themselves and clean themselves out. I would also encourage her to take the kidney cleanse tea for at least 3 times a year for about 20 days each, to start decongesting the kidneys and allow the kidneys to reawaken some of their functions, and to start taking over some of the things that currently only her dialysis sessions can do for her. So I would also recommend to do something that is not very popular in North America, but in Europe it is very popular, and that is to use some of her own urine that is formed perhaps to a small amount, or that she can derive from the dialysis machine, to use some of the urine, the formed urine, and take it back orally into the body. And that has shown to greatly benefit the kidneys. My mother, whose kidneys were failing, when she was in her 60s and 70s, she completely recovered her kidney functions simply by drinking her own urine, and she was able to live another 25 years, and quite comfortably so. There are different ways one can help the kidneys even in such a dire state, that eating certain foods such as asparagus frequently can also contribute to better kidney functions. And once again, avoiding foods that interfere with the kidneys, which include animal proteins such as meat, chicken, fish, eggs, and also the sugars, artificial sugars, artificial sweeteners, food additives, junk foods, fried foods, deep fried foods should all be avoided. Sugar in particular can raise the uric acid levels dramatically and can cause kidney stones and crystals and kidney sand, which can diminish the functions of kidney cells dramatically. So I recommend wholeheartedly to just eat natural foods that are not processed or not manufactured in factories. I hope that this will help her if she takes advantage of this information, and I wish you all success in that.